So, okay, dear teachers, let's begin with today's NEP presentation. Who is the one who will be presenting the first today? Okay, Mr. Ram Vishal.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, he has already raised his hand. So let him do. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Respected principal, ma'am, vice principal, sir, and dear teachers, good afternoon, all of you. As we know, education provides ideological platform for any people, society, or nation. India is land of diverse full people on the base on different language, culture, religion, and caste. In this situation, it is very challengeful to make uniform education policy for India. For face these challenges, Government of India sanctioned three national education policy in 1968, 1986, and NEP 2020. NEP 2020, its launch after 34-year recommendation of K. Kasturi Rangan for bringing the change in national education system. The new education policy has its objective of making the learning process more efficient by enhancing student thinking and creative ability. For this, NEP 2020 includes several changes in the school level as well as higher level. There are main key points of its policy. First, adopting new technological change in education system. Second, increasing education budget 3 to 6%. Third, enforce to use of local language up to 5th class. Fourth, competency-based examination system. And next, enrollment 100% in basic education till 2030, providing quality education, improving teacher training program for facing new challenge. So NEP replace 1986 policy for getting better result in our education environment or in our education system. As far as using art integration in social science or in political science, I would like to explain example. Suppose we giving political map of India or geographical map of India in 9th, 10th or 11th, 12th. We explain map of India in any class, 9th, 10th or 12th. We advised in class to student, they use different color for indicating different feature. As for ocean or water, we use blue color, and for rocks, black color, and for agriculture and green color. So we use different color. So it's clear shows that art, SST is related to art. Other example, if we calculate any particular area of any particular region or any particular state or any particular country, suppose the area of India 32,87,263 square kilometer. How we calculate? We calculate area. So it shows that we use mathematical system in our SST subject. So it is other example of integration of different subject. And we explain both Hindi and in English. So SST is near parts of Hindi and English. It shows maximum subject is interdisciplinary or interconnected. So NEP is provide a better platform, but what result will be of NEP? It shows in upcoming year. So I hope it will be provided better results for India and better system provided in education. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ram. Next, Dolly ma'am, please. I'll discuss it later at the end. I'll summarize. Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, may I share my screen? Mm,
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. As we are discussing about National Education Policy 2020. If we want to change in India, then education is only a tool to change the scenario of India. So change in India by implementing the NEP 2020. Quality is a vision of education. Quality empowerment is the rights of people for inculcating and enhancing and imparting the knowledge. NEP 2020 will change the scenario of the education system after a long gap of 34 years. As we already know, we got first NEP in 1968, then 1986, and now in 2020. NEP emphasizes the future of each individual and responsibility of each person to upload the nation graph with learning, teaching, and sparking and sharpening infinite hands of work together. Before moving towards, I have a question for everyone. Why education is needed? You can use the chat box, you can use the unmute yourself. Anyone who wishes to answer why education is needed? Why education is needed? Why we are trying to give the education to our children? Why we want to educate ourselves? Anyone?
I believe for job, skill.
Skills, job. Okay, great. There are so many answers. It may be that somebody is trying to get the education for the professional development, for getting something, for the better job, learning, knowledge, promotion. So many people and so many options they have. Yes, ultimately goal is to skill ourselves, to modify our skills, to enhance our skills. That's why NEP focused on a reimagination on vocational education. Vocational education is a way to connect a student to mainstream education, and it means a largely satisfied student, those able to cope with the later future to get a proper channel of success. At least 50% learner will get vocational job opportunities, which increase the employability also through the school and higher education, and the systems will have exposure to the vocational education to train the students in various fields with the curriculum with different kinds of activities, to enhance the skills through activities, to provide vocational classes in daily schedule of school, to improve the life skills in the teaching learning process, to achieve the goal in fields of vocational studies. It may be the carpentry, pot making, computer skills, painting, robotics, aerobic, so many. To make the future bright by vocational training in the school environment, and those students will do well in such field, organize 6 months internship for those students with expert guidance. The same kind of phenomena we are also following by giving them a club. When a child is opting a club till half yearly, that means they are enhancing their skills. It may be the communication skills, it may be the kernely skills, it may be their critical thinking skills. They are enhancing, they are improving their skills by opting different kinds of clubs. Vocational training, raising the hidden talent of a student and increase the performance while under the training of the specialized expert of that field. Make an India powerful and skilled with a creative hand, and let them free an environment to show their originality. Learning path enhance the bridge of knowledge and encouraging the thought, learning by doing activity, learning by observation, and learning by experience. As we are doing, as we got it, and then
Dolly, ma'am, you're not audible. You're not audible.
So artists,
There's some internet issue, Dolly, ma'am. We can't get your voice. We can see the PPT, but we can't get your voice.
Ma'am, now may I audible?
Yes, yes, you are.
Ma'am, am I audible now?
Yeah,
And
yes.
my PPT is also.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Yes, I was on the point encouraging learning by doing activity, learning by observation, and learning by experience. We are doing the things, we are learning, we are observing those things as similarly as the students were doing the practicals, and apply these strategy for each hand working, and every hand will be busy in that way and making India beautiful and skilled. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. The next person, please. Who will be presenting next? The third one.
Ma'am, Urvashi ma'am is there, and it's her PPT. Is it visible?
It is loading. It is loading. Wait. Yeah, visible now. You can put it on screen. Yeah. Yes.
Respected Principal Ma'am and my dear colleagues, my greetings to all. I have got opportunity to speak on NEP, and many of our colleagues have spoken already, and some are still in queue. NEP, the vision of new education of India. New education of India. This is just, it is for improvement. NEP's chief purpose is to reform the education in order to make it better, to fill the gap, to bridge the gap between current learning outcomes and which we require, the required learning outcomes. It is to bridge them. I will speak some special features, some important features of NEP, which are inculcated here, which are incorporated here in NEP. First of all becomes skill development, the most focused area, skill development. Before speaking on that, I would like to say something that I will bring notice into all, meaning I would like to bring this thing into everybody's notice that recent years we have witnessed Corona pandemic. That time, ma'am, I am audible?
Yes, you are audible.
That time during the pandemic, people were facing a crucial time, and that time the injection medicine was there, just like a nectar, remdesivir, and where the victims were there in the families, in Indian families, people were not able, being educated person, being science graduate, being science student, they were family members, they were not able to inject that medicine themselves. They were helpless, and they were just running after the doctors or the person who has such knowledge to do it, or they were not technically handed so much as they could attach that oxygen cylinder. So there, what type of education we were providing in India was having, what type of education when people are not able to save themselves in such crucial time. So in order to that, seeing that view, skill development is most important, having most authenticity in it. A skill to boost up employment, a skill to enhance vocational education. Ministry of Education also, meaning government also have joint venture, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship established this, it has some government.
I can see only your first slide. Are you moving the slides? Okay.
Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship is there, in which many schemes are launched, like Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, Skill India, Skill Development Mission, Sankalp. These are the schemes which are launched by this ministry, and these are for higher education. This is all to foster skill development. Next point, my next point is next. Art integrated. Oh, it is not art. It is child psychology. Before that, child-centered strategy. there is child psychology is observed. It is taken care of child psychology. As there is a psychological phenomena, the phenomenal development of human being, mankind is there, which says that 85%, more than about 85% human brain is developed before the age of 6 years, where it means childhood, early age is very much important in human life, where it is working, and if it is working, giving appropriate, well-planned, well-equipped curriculum, so that children, when they become mature and they get better IQ level, they can connect whatever they learn, they can connect with the learning of senior classes, and they can have a stronger base. As we know that if roots are strong, the trees are stronger. So in order to make our children, our citizens stronger in their life, it is done. It is child-centered strategies are introduced in NEP. UNICEF also says, UNICEF report 2019 says at least 47% of youth of India is not on the track of having education to get employed in 2030. So these are the resources and these are the information. So
Next slide, please. Next slide. Please change the slide.
accountability of early education is very much important. Next, art integrated learning. As everybody has said, and art integrated is being introduced too much, and we are following that. Art integrated says, meaning art says, makes the curriculum little easier to understand, to get better, to receive better. When we lose our interest, it becomes easier to the art. Otherwise, it is not interesting. We don't receive. Human psychology says we cannot receive the thing, we cannot learn if there's not interest. So it is made art integrated learning. It has been made, the curriculum has been made, curriculum is imposed, not imposed, it is happen, meaning learning becomes happening here through these methods, art integrated learning. Researchers, experts have elaborated the new way of art education. It has a greater role. So this is also very much important to foster cognitive approach of students. Multilingual. Researchers say that the person who is multilingual has, he or she can understand better, means much better. So multilingualism shows people more activity, multilingual people can show more activities, good thing. And psychology, it became psychology, it is research, it is understood, it is observed that it has been found in studies that people in their life. So multilingualism, and if one thing is taught, suppose gain prakar, I am just able to speak and only in Hindi and English, and somehow I can speak, I can teach in Sanskrit, I know, but many people are there, those are able to understand. Many people are there who can speak, whether it is international language, Japanese, Sayonara, Zonzur, these meaning international languages and national languages. India is a rich country having many languages. So if the students are taught in their own language, which they are very much comfortable in, it is better for learning. It becomes learning interesting and better. So this is the motive of education system. Next point is HOT, means high order thinking. High order thinking is only, it is to, meaning it is very much most important factor, high order thinking, which makes student think better. Critical approach related to their practical life, it is there. Critical approach, practical life, how they can assimilate the learnings which they have in their classroom, they can do, they can use, they can practice in their life, practical life at home. Or suppose, I give an example. In 9th class, I completed a chapter, the lastly, that is chapter, is this chapter has a tragic end, having a death of a character. I told my children how just rewrite the story, having same characters, rewrite the story, same script, but converting the end into a happy ending, tragic end into a happy ending. And yes, I got many many replies. Students said that, ma'am, it could be done when this person have taken care of this thing. Replies were given by students. They thought this is how it is the matter to make them involved, engage in learning. They learn better if they get involved. Their family matters, their practical life matters, experiential learning works here. So practical life, the things that matters which they feel, which they find in practical life, if they get attached with learning in classroom, they think better. Board for CBSE board for last many years is focusing on this high order thinking. Make them think and find out solution. That's why we have the questions in question paper by that is given by board. What do you think? Tell them, write in these words, word limit is given, write what do you think, not what is given in the chapter. With the reference of that particular chapter, they are told to write what do you think. So these are the things which I wanted to tell you. In short, NEP gives emphasis on learning outcome at all levels, all standard. It means teaching learning becomes must to be happen, teaching learning must be culminated at the fruitful point, not learning imposed. This is where I end up myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Urvashi ma'am. Who's the next one? Yeah. Who's going to present next?
And this is me.
Okay, Aksha ma'am. Right.
Evening, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, ma'am. Today I am going to represent my views on the topic curriculum and pedagogy in school. So, according to NEP, the learning should be holistic, integrated, engaging, and enjoyable. The term curriculum refers to the lesson and academic content taught in school or in specific course or programs. The pedagogy refers to the method and practices of the teaching. Now, first of all, let us know that what is the holistic, integrated, enjoyable, and engaging learning. The holistic considered as the whole thing rather than the collection of the parts. It include the 360 angle learning, that is intellectual plus physical plus emotional plus spiritual. That means the holistic understanding of education is aimed at developing the intellectual, emotional, social, and physical aspect of individual personality. There are various activities to stimulate the children's ability or creativity, just like music activities, art activities, physical activities, sports, or early contact with the books, and etc. Now, the second thing is integrated. Integrated means to join things so that they become one thing or work together. An integrated curriculum is described as one that connect different area of the study in one. And next thing is enjoyable learning. The enjoyable learning means the giving learning which is giving pleasure. The learning in school should be by teacher should be enjoyable and experimental so that the student or learner notice of it and hence remember it. The engaging, and the last point is engaging learning. Engaging learning means the giving work to somebody. That means giving task. Here, I am sharing some rules, some golden rules we can say for engaging a student in learning or in learning activities. The first one is making it meaningful. Meaningful learning means if we are going to tell them a chapter, explain a chapter, and if we are going to give them a lecture, so we have to tell them that why we are teaching them this topic. If we will tell them that this is the scope of this topic and how it will helpful to them and how it will work in their life, then the student will more concentrated on this chapter, on this topic. So this is make it meaningful. And second rule is establishing positive teacher-student relationship. That means being listened to them, being kind to them, having interest in this, having some interest in their life, and appreciate them. And then the most important rule, that say no to no. According to me, when the student come to us and ask me, ma'am, it is, ma'am, tell me this answer and tell me this, there are something happened that maybe the question is out of syllabus, but we have never said to them that I will not answer you. So this is the positive relationship, and we have to a teacher show them respect, and be kind with them, polite with them, and understand the individuality of the class. The third rule is promote mastery orientation. The mastery orientation refers to the having the goal of learning and mastering the task of according to the self-set standard. That means, I am giving an example that I have some student in my class. Some of them are very intellectual. They can get the top. There are some students who are not able to get the same topic at the same time very easily. They take time, or they have some responsibility, that how I am telling them that you are good in it, and you have to interconnect your this subject to my subject, at your interest, that you can pursue better improvement, or you can do better in other subjects too. So learner is focused on developing a new skill, so that and improving and acquiring additional knowledge. Now, as we all know that the school education is not just related to book and other equipment like the pen, copy, pencil. Today, it is beyond the school building. It means the school education, which is integrated at the level of the human life. For example, the sport, the art, the poetry, and other things that include in the education system. As in CBSE curriculum, we already follow this kind of thing in our syllabus, but new education policy, we are endorse all that thing in education system. For that, we make a new kind of pedagogy system, that is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, based on their age year group, and in which we are not just focused on the student intellectual level, but we also focus on the holistic development of the learner or the student. And for that, we start from reducing. There is a reconstructing of a pedagogy system. We can say that start from reducing curriculum context to enhance the essential learning and critical thinking in student. But the thing is, reducing curriculum doesn't mean that we are compromising with their student education level. It means that we are reducing that part which we can taught them in integrated projects and integrated activities. So we are reducing that part from the curriculum, so they can. So from that, apart from that, we are include the experimental learning in their education, in their curriculum, so that they can just not read and write them, but they can also feel the education whatever we are giving them. And so in that way, the new education policy going to help a lot of the student of any board, be it is a CBSE board or ICSE board or state level board. So the students are going to help out from the education policy, and we are going to see the vision, as we all know about. In today's world, in today's scenario, students are not only focused on the books, they are all, and we are not going to make them a bookworm. So we are going to make them a new creative learner, to learn the thing by experiments, by research, by doing activities. So the innovative policy or innovative kind of thing should be rooted by the student in the early childhood age, so that they can truly see in Indian economy, as the government claimed that till 2030, the GDP of India would be top 3 level in this world. So we can achieve this goal by educating the people and this educating policy, that is NEP, is a step to achieve this goal. Hope for the best, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Aksha ma'am. Who's next?
Yes, good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon.
My topic under NEP is curtailing dropout rate and ensuring universal access to education for all.
Mhm.
First of all, I would like to highlight some points regarding NEP, that why this issue has been highlighted under NEP. We know that for each and every school, the primary goal is having more and more students and more and more enrollment ratios. And those students who have enrolled under the school, they must have attended the school. But large chunk of population are still out of the school. We have several policies prior to the NEP, that was Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, Right to Education Act 2009, Padhega India, Badhega India, that all policies, no doubt, they have increased, they have marked significant, remarkable increase in the gross enrollment ratio. But recent times, we are facing a serious issue in our schooling system, that is dropping out of the students after grade 5 or after grade 8. What is the reason? Recently, I have come across one report of the UNICEF that was declaring that it has been observed that 25% girls are dropping out of the school because of early marriage. 33% girls are dropping out of the school because of domestic works. 45% of the overall students are dropping out of the school because they want to help their families. They want to work as a laborers and so on. There are several reasons. So it is becoming one of the top priority that we have to bring all those children back to the mainstream of the education who have dropped out, and to prevent the further dropping out of the students in the from school. So NEP 2020 has highlighted this point, and it has brought two major initiatives which I think will further work in the future. For under first initiative, it is mentioned that to prevent the students from dropping out of the school, maintain the school infrastructure, introduce vocational trainings, introduce innovative education centers, just appoint trained teachers, and target those group of students who have dropped out previously, and just bring them back into the education system. Second initiative, which I personally think will work, that is the tracking of the students. And tracking of the students basically highlights that how much students have enrolled in a particular year, the students who have enrolled, whether or not they are attending the school, and the students who are attending the school, are they regular or not. In this way, we can track the students, and we should ensure that after tracking the group of the students, we will be able to know that why these group of students are dropping out of the school. And another thing is just making the group of social workers who will be connected with the parents, the teachers, and the communities, and they will target those students who are of school going age, and they will bring them back to the education stream, mainstream of the education. So in this way, dropping out of the students from school can be curtailed. It can be reduced. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. How many of you are left now? Amit also? And
Amit sir, Sumit sir, and Aarti ma'am.
okay. So
Yes,
what we can do is because I can ask only Sumit, Amit, and Aarti, right?
Aarti ma'am.
So you have to leave at 4 o'clock also. So we can have their presentation on Monday, right? So all of you just listen to me. Don't end the meeting. I have got something to tell you. All of you, please, you may note it down. As today, most of you have presented, and we have been discussing NEP past many days, right? So I want to give chance to each and everybody to express your views on NEP and how you are implementing the same. What is your take on that? And what I have jotted down, as you have discussed, you talked about integration of subjects, you talk about being multilingual in the classes, Skill India, building skills, competences, arts integration. Ab ye note kar lo, because after that, when I'll sum up, then you will not be able to get to know. I will not be revising. Okay. Arts integration, child-centered learning, child-centered pedagogy, and working on the HOTS, higher order thinking skills, real life integration, student-teacher relationship, your values and SDGs integration, ICT integration. When we talk about holistic learning, making learning enjoyable, that is joyful learning, experiential or discovery learning, competencies or skill building. And we talk about bridging the learning gap. When the children, they are coming from other schools, maybe they are skipping one class also, how you are helping them bridge their learning. And are you giving your students chance for improvement? Like, for example, if a child comes to your class, right, and the child submits the project, but as and when he tries to submit the project, he looks at the project submitted by other children, and it comes to his mind like, I can also do it like that. And as and when the child says, ma'am, can I submit it tomorrow? You say, no, 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 bas aapka submit ho gaya, de do, right? You take it away from the child. I mean, are you giving chance for improvement? Okay, beta, fine, you can redo it if some other thoughts are there in your mind, or you just take it away. So that all these points that I have discussed, and when Dolly ma'am initially asked, why do we learn? Why do we educate? There are number of you see points. We cannot give only in one statement like why we learn education. The answer cannot be given in a some statement, but at least as it is said, like there are 4 pillars of learning. First of all, learning to know. We want to learn because we want to know. We want to know what is there in the surrounding. We want to know about each and every person, about our surroundings. Next is learning to do. क्योंकि हम करना चाहते हैं, काम करना है, right? We have to do, as Vikas was saying, somebody was saying, to do something. Skills होंगी, working होगी, and to earn our bread and butter, we need to learn. Right? Learning to know, learning to do, and then learning to live together. Human beings cannot live alone. We have to live in a society. We have to work with each other. We have to work in collaboration. We all are dependent upon each other. अकेला तो बंदा नहीं survive कर सकता. Sociology वाले बहुत अच्छे से इसको explain कर सकते हैं, right? We human beings cannot survive alone, right? So learning to live together. And last is learning to be अपनी identity बनाने के लिए, right? अपनी awareness हो, अपनी identity हो. हर कोई बंदा यहाँ पर इस दुनिया में किस लिए भाग रहे हैं? अपनी identity. मैं हूँ, मैं, ego, whatever it is. अब जिस तरीके से भी उसको समझें, right? So I से we तक पहुंचना है. From I to we. Learning together. Okay. Learning to live together. वो जो ego है मैं उसको निकाल कर learning to be, learning एक दूसरे के साथ रहने की बात करेंगे. Empathize each other. इस चीज के लिए हमें learn करना है. They are the basic pillars that were given by Delors. Okay, Delors ने 2001 में 4 pillar of learning दिया था कि हम क्यों पढ़ते हैं, क्यों हमें पढ़ना है, right? So these are the different points that I have discussed. I hope you have noted down. किसी ने नहीं भी note करे, किसी ने शायद mind में अपने store कर लिए हैं. What you have to do now, I am giving today, we are on 13th. From the month of February, we will be starting the presentations again. And with that presentation, वहां पर आपको बताना है कि आपने how you have implemented these points in your teaching learning. You have to cover any of at least the 5 points. I mean to say, if any teacher says, yes, I have implemented arts integration, I have implemented technology integration, I work towards values integration, I use multilingualism, okay, I use ICT integration, you have to have at least, you have to cover minimum 5 areas, and you have to provide the evidences, you have to present the same. We will be having a presentation, and I'm giving you what all 18 days are there, or what all you can calculate 18, 19, what all days are there. You have to prepare your presentations, and from February, we will be beginning with that. I want to see what all we are talking about. मुझे पता है NEP क्या है. I know what is NEP. NEP is technology integration, and NEP is multilingualism. NEP is child-centered pedagogy, how you are using child-centered pedagogy, how you are facilitating the education through arts integration, right? Each and every teacher has to present. Every teacher means Whether you are a sports teacher, whether you are a librarian, whether you are a music teacher, whether you are a kindergarten teacher, whether you are an examination in charge, whether you are an HOD, whosoever you are, whether you are having a postgraduate or maybe a doctorate degree with you, each and every person has to present, right? So minimum 5 areas you have to cover. If you want to go beyond that, nothing like that. That's up to you. Okay. Now, it's up to you how you are going to present it. The choice is yours. Slowly and gradually, I know you all have done. Evidences are all there on Facebook also, right? So, mujhe पांच koi bhi area aapki choice ke. The choice is yours, right? So, you have to take it and you have to present the same, right? Thank you, all of you. Rest, we will discuss on Monday. Again, I wish you a very happy Lodi. There are 3 minutes left. You need to pack your bags too, I know, right? Fine, all of you. Have a nice day. Enjoy yourself.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Happy
Thank you.